Well, our family's been involved with raising livestock going back to the 1880s when my dad's grandfather moved from Arkansas to Texas in the final leg of a several generational move west. Dad was very focused on, I would say, two principal avenues. One is working with nature and on natural selection. What we might mean by natural selection, we mean putting cattle in an environment like this one, which is called the shortgrass prairie, and simply seeing which cattle are able to perform best in this environment. My father is the actual developer of the Beefmaster breed, but of course he was raised by a large and progressive Texas cattleman who did a lot of crossbreeding. Dad built on his father's work, combining these three breeds, the Brahman, Hereford, and Shorthorn breeds, and then refining his process of selection. Our way of ranching is not limited to Beefmaster. The only advantage to this herd is we've already been selecting them for the better part of a century for certain traits. And again, you know, the ultimate trait is being adapted to the natural world, to this specific part of the natural world, the shortgrass prairie. We stopped using all insecticides in the 1960s, whereas if you use products, whether it's insecticides, antibiotics, any product that's available to us, you're simply selecting your cattle based on the lowest common denominator, or you're keeping the weakest in the herd, the less resistant in the herd, as opposed to letting them fall out as they would fall out in herds of wild animals that are still here on the ranch and preceded us here. We're in the part of Colorado that most people either are unaware of or don't particularly appreciate. We have Pikes Peak and Summit County and all these beautiful places to the west of us. So everyone coming here from Kansas or Texas just wants to get through this area and get to the mountains. And they hope this won't go on forever, this drive through the shortgrass prairie. But to me it's a fascinating thing because actually we have much more wildlife and much more life out here on the prairie than exists in the mountains. We have all the beautiful things that everyone appreciates, the mule deer, the pronghorn antelope, of course lots of ground squirrels and other badgers, burrowing animals, and then we have what are universally despised, the prairie dog, which were successfully eradicated on this property and all of our neighboring properties back in the 50s. We decided to bring them back in 8 years ago. Even though prairie dogs were defined as a pest, if we move beyond that particular vision and understand that they are a keystone species and that there are a whole host of animals and birds that collect around and live in conjunction with prairie dog towns, including some that are specific to prairie dog towns, like burrowing owls and ferruginous hawks and so on. We think it's important to have prairie dogs here. That concept is not widely shared among our agricultural friends and neighbors. Prairie dogs are part of this tremendous system of the shortgrass prairie. Other animals that we have here, we have lots of coyotes. They look very healthy, seem to be doing very well. We don't consider them a threat to our calves, but we think the mother cows, one of their duties is to protect their calves. If they lose a calf, then they leave the herd, and that takes care of that. Even though a lot of our ideas are at odds with our fellow cattlemen and neighbors, we've simply tried to show that on a practical level that they work, that we're not here as outsiders, or we're not here with outside money just trying to do unusual or different things. We're here trying to make a living raising livestock just like our neighbors are. So in that sense, we're trying to change things from within.